Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may now be seated.
Good morning from WSFM.
I'm Caleb.
And I'm Dallas.
Did you know today is National Chicken Little Awareness Day? Today is an annual celebration of a folktale about an insanely scared chicken who constantly thinks the world is coming to an end. Convinced the sky is falling because of objects like acorns falling on his head, he goes on a quest around the farm warning the other animals of this impending danger. They believe him and everybody goes into a panic. They all join him in going to warn the king about the disaster. There are different endings to the tale, with the most familiar being all of the animals being tricked by the fox and led to danger in the fox's den. However, the most important part of the story is the lesson. Don't jump to conclusions or spread panic without verifying the facts. Critical thinking, staying calm, and not blindly following fear or rumors about what you hear is the best way to stay safe. And be educated. Always seek the truth before reacting.
Our April book club will be held on Thursday, April 10th during all 3 lunch periods in the mill. Please bring your lunch and dessert will be provided. All are welcome. Attention to all students who have attended any book club this school year. There are a number of books that should be returned to the mill immediately. They are overdue at the public library. See the list on the Google Classroom.
Yearbooks are on sale now, but will only be available through Wednesday, April 23rd. Check out this special presentation from the yearbook staff.
Hi, Maiden.
I'm Elle. And I'm Sarah. And we're here for MHS Yearbook.
Alright, this year's theme for yearbook is Look at Us Now.
We're showing off our brand new building and all of our wonderful athletes this year. So get excited.
The last day to buy a yearbook is April 23rd and the cost is $50.
Make sure to stop in Mrs. Taylor's room to get one.
You can pay by check or cash in room 102 with Mrs. Taylor. Or, if you are really that introverted, you can buy one online at yearbookforever.com.
That's pretty cool. But you know what's even cooler? You. Because you're in the yearbook, Aiden. And so are you, Elle.
And so are you.
And so are you. Put your...
Everybody.
And so are you. So if you want to see yourself in the yearbook, and all of your friends too, because we know you have friends, go ahead and grab a yearbook in Mrs. Taylor's room and commemorate this really good experience that you've had this year. Because I'm wanting to say this year has been pretty magical. You don't want to forget it.
I'm buying a yearbook because you're leaving, and I'm never going to see you again.
I'm buying a yearbook because I'm leaving, and I'm never going to see this place again.
I'm buying a yearbook because I'm part of the yearbook.
Yay!
Hooray!
Perfect.
Buy a yearbook or
Making...
Yeah.
yearbook.
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 Yearbook. Yearbook. Yearbook.
Yearbook.
Yearbook.
Yearbook.
Yearbook.
Yearbook.
The Canal Fulton Canoe Livery will be here tomorrow, Thursday, April 10th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. to conduct student interviews. If you're looking for summer employment, please stop by the guidance office to sign up for an interview. You can also pick up an application with Mrs. Moore, which needs to be filled out prior to your interview.
The Science Club is going to visit the Cleveland Museum of Natural History this Sunday, April 13th. Details of the trip are on the Science Club Google Classroom page, and the deadline for signing up is Thursday, April 10th by the end of the school day. There's a permission slip attached to the assignment. To be allowed to come on this trip, you must bring a copy of this form signed by your parent or guardian. Come along and join the fun.
Art Club will be having a meeting this Friday right after school. All Art Club members should plan to attend.
There was a student council meeting this morning. Have no fear if you missed it, because the next one is today after school in room 201. We hope to see you there. And next up will be Merrick with the sports.
Good morning, Panther fans. Today, your varsity track team is away at Fairless to take on the Falcons in Canton South. The meet starts at 4:30. Also today, your boys tennis team is away at Triway starting at 4:30. Today, your girls JV and varsity softball teams and JV and varsity boys baseball team are facing the Fairless Falcons with girls softball on the road and boys baseball at home. Varsity starts at 5 and JV starts at 6:30. You can check the MHS Panther Sports Twitter account at Akron MHS Sports to get information on time changes, scores, play highlights, and more. Go Panthers! And now, back over to Caleb in Dallas.
Thanks, Merrick. Today's lunch is soft tacos, black bean and corn salad, and choice of fruit. And tomorrow's breakfast will be banana bread, choice of fruit, juice, and milk.
Thank you from WSFM. Signing off.
I'm Dallas.
And I'm Caleb.
Have a great day.